Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Jennings, and I go by CSURAM88 across the daily fantasy industry. I'm excited to be back again at FantasyLabs doing another lineup review. You'll hear some background noise. I'm actually at the airport on my way to Hawaii, but wanted to get this out to you guys because I thought it was a really interesting weekend with the WGC in Mexico. So I'm going to take a look at 4 different tournaments, and I'll be reviewing all of these going forward here. I'm going to be taking a look at the Thunderdome when they have it, the 300 to whatever high stakes buy-in they choose to do on DraftKings, the dogleg, and the birdie. So taking a look here at the Thunderdome, Mr. Tuttle took it down. We'll review his lineup quickly here. He had Paul Casey, Terrell Hatton, J.B. Holmes, Dustin Johnson, Mickelson, and Bubba Watson. So really took a strategy here of getting some low-owned guys with really good scores. Tyrell Hatton is a great play as a Euro, and obviously Dustin Johnson winning at only 13% was a great pick. Everyone was on Stenson. If we look here at my lineup, I got 15th. I had Stenson withdraw, but I decided to go with Sergio, Bill Haas, Thomas Peters, John Rahm, Stenson, and Gary Woodland. And I think my lineup was pretty solid overall. Obviously, the Stenson withdrawal really hurt, and he probably wasn't a great play because of his ownership. Although in this contest, at a $5,300 buy-in, it does pay 5 of 23 people, so it's a deeper payout. So game theory does matter, but you're still also looking at just the highest equity team. So I don't feel terrible about my team. I wish I would have gone with a different stud other than Stenson, obviously, given that he withdrew and how things went. But yeah, a bullet that I missed there. Congrats to Jet Blacks, J686, Brandon Adams, ATK10 as well for cashing this tournament. So now we're looking here at the Pressure Putt, which is an awesome tournament. I threw in 22 teams here, and I had a marginal result. Not awful, but not good. Huge congrats to Sammy Knoll on taking this down, one of the great guys in the industry with a great team. Dustin Johnson, Noren, Peters, Snedeker, who really came through for him on the last day, Justin Thomas, and Jimmy Walker. So great lineup. Snedeker at 8.8% with that huge 65 was awesome for Sammy Knoll, and a really well put together lineup and just good teams in general. You see he got 4th here, and if you type in Sammy Knoll, he had a good weekend overall. Probably the best weekend of any player in the industry was Flavor Flav. If you look here, he just was all over the leaderboard. And if you look at some of his top teams, you know, he had Dustin Johnson, Peters, Snedeker, and a lot of them, mainly Peters, Thomas, Dustin Johnson, and the studs, Rory, DJ, etc., John Rahm here. So great teams by Flavor Flav. We'll be looking at some of his other lineups as well. So Flavor Flav won the dogleg. Big congrats again, just all over the leaderboard here. The winning team with 576.5 was J.B. Holmes, Rory, Peters, Rahm, Snedeker, and Thomas. And this truly is an incredible lineup because it wins without Dustin Johnson. So big time congrats. Obviously, Justin Thomas with the ace was a really high score, and Snedeker had so many birdies there, and an eagle. His last round was so good, so that made a big difference. And just an overall great lineup from Flavor Flav and a great weekend. Looking at the birdie here, Omi Styles took it down. Here's the best lineup in the $3 tournament, which obviously has a ton of entrants here, 176,000 players. Paul Casey, Tommy Fleetwood at 3.1%, really sharp play. I noticed Sawhill also played a lot of Tommy Fleetwood. J.B. Holmes, Dustin Johnson, Thomas Peters, and Justin Thomas. So great finish. I had the same 22 teams in. Normally I throw 150 in this tournament as well as the dogleg, but try to focus on the 22 teams more with the pressure putt, and that's where things landed. So it was a really interesting week of golf. One other thing I'll be looking at every week is, and I'll be adding more to this, but basically my idea is to kind of keep track of all these contests. I have the winning score here. My plan is to add things like the average cash line and some other data points in terms of entrants and high-owned players, and maybe some other data that I can keep track of. But I'll be going through these in my lineup review as well. So if you guys have any feedback on what you'd like to see here, I will certainly look to add it. But that was the weekend. I will be on the pod from Hawaii. Definitely got everything set up for DraftKings this week. Going to make sure that I'm paying attention to golf because I will not be able to play any other DFS sports. So I'm going to enjoy the time playing real golf. Hope you guys had a great weekend. As always, looking to see more Fantasy Labs subscribers at the top of the leaderboard.